Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to control your Sony FX3 and Sony FX30 camera with monitor and control app. So to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how you can set up your camera settings for the Wi-Fi connection with mobile phone or iPad, and then once we are done with the connection of our iPad or iPhone with the monitor and control app, how we can really open monitor and control app and make sure that camera is there connected, and then we open the camera settings, how we do the manual focus or autofocus settings in there, how we judge the exposure, how we put the frame line, how we put the LUT in there. There are many things which we can do. We can change the basic settings like frames per second, ISO, shutter, and all these things, but there is a lot more which we can do in this app, and this is very helpful too. Like, let's say I am shooting now, my camera is there and I'm previewing myself on my phone because I want to do it. So let me just show you how you can do the connection first of all. So first of all, in camera settings, I'll click on menu button. I will go down in the menu settings till I see network, and in here I'm gonna scroll down till I see network options. I will click on this and I will go to reset network settings and I will enter, and it will reset my network. The camera will turn off and turn on, and now I will go back to the menus. I'm gonna go up. I will go to the connection and remote shooting settings. I will click on this and then I will click on smartphone connection. Here I will not go through Bluetooth. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say connect via Wi-Fi. Once it's done, you can see it's opening the Wi-Fi settings, and here this is very important. This is your SSID and the password which you will put on your iPad. So I will open the settings in my iPad, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Wi-Fi settings, and here you can see my FX3 is showing there. I will click on this, and the password which showed here I'm gonna put here. But one thing is, like, when I'm doing this, you can see it's not showing any password. Why? Because when you're screen recording and you type any password, it doesn't record that because it doesn't want to show in that. So the password is there and it's connected, you can see. And now let me open the monitor and control that. Once we do that, this is how we open on the iPad, and it looks like this. And first of all, very important thing is on the left side. Here it's on the left side. If it's on the phone, I will show you on the phone as well. You can see Wi-Fi. If I click on this, you can see there are other options like Bluetooth pairing or USB or wired LAN or tethering Wi-Fi. These things are very important. So if it was on Bluetooth, the camera was not gonna pop here. Why? Because it was connected through the Wi-Fi. So if your camera is connected through the Wi-Fi, you make sure that you come here. First of all, it's selected the Wi-Fi, and then you go and see if the camera is popping. I will click on this, it will connect, and now I'm gonna show it to you on my phone as well. This was on my iPad. I will show you on my phone as well because I have it with me now and I'm monitoring it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start my screen recording. So I will go. So let's say on my phone it was gonna look like this as you see now, and it's saying FX30 is connected because for now I'm connected with FX30. The thing which I showed you was done on FX3. So here you can see on top there is Wi-Fi, and as the camera is connected, it's grayed out. But if I disconnect, you can see it's having the options there. So I will connect again. My camera opens. Right away when you open, it will look like this. What I always do is I will go on my settings. I will make sure that the auto rotate is off, and then I will rotate my camera like this. Once I do that, you can see the camera flipped here, the settings flipped here, and now it's looking in 16:9, and this is how I wanna preview it. So I'm one of those guys who use this app almost every week, if not every day, because most of the time I'm shooting with some bigger cameras, and whenever we have the shoots with smaller cameras, we use Sony FX3 or FX30 or Sony FX6 or Burano or any of these cameras. I use this app. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, and first of all, you can see the settings overlaid. On the right top corner, you have this lock button first of all, and now if I click on this screen, you can see it's not doing anything on the screen. What if I unlock? Next to that, there is a button called display. If I click on this, the display went away. It have three features. So one was this, where it's clean screen. If I press it again, it will show me the settings and it will keep my feed clean, and settings will be overlaid on the sides, not on the picture. And if I click on it once more, picture becomes bigger and then the settings are overlaid on this. So these are the three. So I will keep it always in this. And the next thing is the video recording, which is grayed out. Why? Because I'm shooting on my camera now. I'm basically in record mode for now. So if I was cut, then it was not going to be like this, but if I cut, you will lose my sound quality there. But I will show you how you can. So if I will click on this, I have recorded it on my iPad in live mode because I knew that this situation will happen. So if I go to my iPad just to show you the screen recording, when I click on this, it is saying flexible exposure mode, which you know what it is. And if you don't know, there is a video on that. I have made that, you can go and watch. How can we change that? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come where you have the FPS, autofocus and all these settings, and I will scroll to the left. Once I do that, you can see the other settings. Once I click on that, you can see here you have the Cine E and all that, and there you can see the flexible exposure mode. If I click on this, I can go in PASM mode, which is a shutter priority and all these aperture priority and manual mode, but I will always keep on flexible exposure mode for me. So this is where you can really change that setting. Next to that is tracking autofocus. If you was on manual focus setting, it will be grayed out. So if you are on autofocus, then you can come on tracking autofocus. You can do the settings here as well. Like you can do the frame color. Now you can see the color of the frame is changing around my eye. After that, you have the LV high, which is live view high or low. So basically I wanted to record this and I wanted to show my face a bit better as well. So I kept it like this. Then you have the battery percentage of the camera. This is not of the phone. And then you have the recording if it's in record or playback mode. Now next to that, if we go, you have waveform and then you have the false color. If I click on waveform, you can see I can make it full screen. I can make it like this just by clicking and dragging it. And then if I disable it and go to false color, you can see my false color. I can see my exposure, how I'm exposed, and this is a very handy tool, to be honest, and I use it always. And now if we want any other tool here and not these two, we can keep two of tools here. How we can enable and disable them? So if I go to tool here, I come here, you can see on the false color on the left side it's ticked. If I disable this tick, you can see it went away on the side. Now you can see it's only having the waveform because the false color is not ticked. So if I click on this again, you can see the false color is there now to quickly access it. So I will keep it. This is very important. Now I will show you everything here. So focus map is very handy and I have used it many times. So basically I was shooting in mountains like recently, and we didn't have opportunity to take bigger cameras there. We took just FX3, and there we can't take any focus puller at all that. So what I did is I took my iPad with that and I was pulling with my finger on the side with the help of focus map, because you can't really see what is focused in iPad. After that, you have the false color. You have the false color settings in the gear, and next to everything you have this gear icon to do the settings, and then you have this button to enable and disable it. Now after that, you have the video signal monitor. If you want to keep waveform or histogram, you can choose whatever you want, and then you can enable and disable them. After that, you have the marker settings. Marker is basically if you want to have the center marker, and in center marker you can have the open cross, you can have dot. So if I keep it on dot, I say red, and then, or let's say yellow, and then I close it, and now if I enable it, you can see a yellow dot. You have the aspect marker, which is your frame line. So we use a lot of frame lines while shooting, like let's say 239 or 9:16. So if you want to make sure that you are framing the right aspect, what you can do is you can come here on the aspect marker. You can go to the settings. First of all, you can choose your aspect ratio. So I say 9:16, and I will say I want to keep it red. Click on the aspect marker. You can see my 9:16 video, and the other portion is shaded. So if I don't want it to be shaded and I just want to show the frame lines, what I will do is I will come here and I will click on the settings, and you can see the opacity. This is the shading opacity. I have the aspect safety zone, same aspect, even smaller. So if I do this, you can see you have a smaller 9:16 in there just to be safe. You have the grid line. You know what a grid line is. After that, you have De-squeeze, which is very useful. Basically, if you're having any anamorphic lens used with your FX3 or FX30, you can come here, you can choose the De-squeeze factor. Let's say it's having 1.3, you can turn it on, and now I'm in 1.3, but right now I'm not using any anamorphic lens, so I don't need it. Then you have the flip. Basically, if you want to flip it, and then you can rotate as well, You can see. So these are the things which you can do here. So this is all about the tools. Now after that you have the XAVC-SI 4K settings, which is it's showing you like I'm in this mode, I'm in this resolution. And then you have the live view 24 or 25 FPS. And then you have the duration left on your first card. You can see it's saying 1. There was 2 cards. It will show you what is left on 2 and what is left on 1. Now after that you have video, where if you click it, you can see all the videos which you have played and you can play back these. Now after that you have the fixed 25 frames per second grayed out. Why? Because I'm recording and I need to talk to the camera as well. I'm kind of restricted. For this situation I recorded these things on my iPad as well, so I can show you and you're not left with any questions. So if I click on FPS now, this is on the fixed now, and let's say I click on variable, and once I click on this it will give me another other option. So it's on 100 frames per second. You can go 50 till 1 frame per second. Next to that you have the autofocus settings. If I click on this, you can have this autofocus and manual focus settings. If I click on manual focus, it's in manual focus and I can literally focus like this. You can see me going out of focus and coming in focus. But for now I will keep it on autofocus because I don't want to mess up, and I will show you the other options as well. You have the autofocus assist if you want it to be on or off, and then you have the focus area settings if you want to keep it wide or zone or center fixed or all these options. So I always keep it in wide. In some scenarios I keep it on zone, and I have done a full video where I briefed everything about autofocus settings in Sony FX3. If you want to see that, the link is there. You can click on this. It's a 13 minutes video, but once you watch it you will know everything which you need to know about autofocus settings in Sony FX3 or FX30. Next to that you have the face eye detection priority. So if you want to keep it off or on, so I'm shooting myself and I have a face in the frame, so I will keep it on. And then you have the autofocus transition speed and autofocus subject shift sensitivity. All the things are explained in the video. You go and watch. I will leave the link in the description as well. So this is about the autofocus. You have the iris control after, if you want to stop down or stop up. You have the exposure index. Here you have two things. First, you can change your exposure index here on the side, and then you can choose your base as well, which is here on the left. If I click on this, you can see 800 and 2500 because it's on FX30 now, but if it was FX3 it was gonna show you 800 and 12800. So I will keep it on 800 for now, but if you want to change quickly, you can come here and change. Next to that, you have shutter, and you might be seeing like, okay, why you're shooting in 270 shutter angle? It should be 180. You're right, but I'm kind of bound with my exposure. I don't have any lights to record. I'm shooting with the house lights, so I have to keep it in this, and I know I'm not moving much, so it's fine. So I will keep it like this, but you can change here. I will keep it on 270. Then on the left side you have the variable shutter if you want to turn it on or turn it off, and then you can choose if you want to show your shutter in speed or angle. I always keep it in angle, but if you want to show it in speed, you can come here, you can click on speed, and now you can see that it's showing you shutter speed instead of shutter angle in case you don't know how shutter angle works. Then you have the auto and manual if you want to keep your shutter auto or manual. I will always keep it on manual. And this is pretty much it about this. I will go on the right side. Next to that you have the white balance settings. You can go to the presets or you can go to the manual, and you can literally go between that. For me it's suitable to keep it in 4100. I'll keep it. Next to that you have your look settings. So basically if you have any looks imported in your camera, you can literally select the number here and it will choose the look. I'll keep it on this. Then you have your clip flag settings, and if you are playing back, you can literally come and say this is a good or not good, or okay, or keep it, or flag off if you want to remove a flag from the clip. This is in the playback mode, so I can't show you for now, but I know that you understand. After that you have the rec format where you can you do your recording settings. So to show you that, let me just go here on my iPad. So if I click on the rec format, I can see my format and resolution. So I always keep it on XAVC-SI 4K. If you want to shoot for longer time or any other reasons, you can go on any other, like let's say XAVC-HS 4K or XAVC 4K or HD even. You can choose any, but for me it's preferred. And then you have the other settings. If I click on the other settings, in other settings I have the Cine EI or flexibilizer, all these settings here. Then your S camera settings if you want to be in .cine or only sgamut.3. So these are the things which are very important. After that, you have the record stop. Surely you can click on record and stop, and you have the hold button. Now this is pretty much everything which you need to know about Sony monitor and control app. And I hope that it was helpful for you. In case it was, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.